The fall, I fall simply because a few years ago, actually through Luca and Enrico, they tried to get Salvatore Oriana over here for a project. And after something happened in the project.
Something always happens.
Something always happened. Of the project, and there was also this story that they will tell came into the picture, so everything in that specific moment was halted, was stopped. All of a sudden, I hear about them again this year. This book is coming out, La Cura, that I've seen also around here. And I just did something very simple. I took the book, I put on the edge of my terrace, I took a picture of the book with the, the background of I sent it and something clicked myself, and so we started the beginning. Said, what can we do? Just a book introduction. I hate the book introduction. I can't stand any longer book introduction because I think they are a kind of selfie. It's not. It's nothing that constructs. If I, of course, fell in love with the book. Let's say the process where I found very different layers. Specifically, the first thing is to see the book is organized in chapter. Each chapter is divided in 4 parts. The 4 parts they will tell, but is one written by Salvatore, one written by Oriana after the construction of the project and the material for the project. And what I found incredible was also immediately this process of opening at the same time having at the center the relationship between 2 persons that love each other, like Oriana and Salvatore. So to see the 2 individuals working together and at the same time opening up this process was particularly interesting. I finish. For me, it was very interesting what they've done, and they will explain starting from a specific issue. But I found very interesting the process. So I said immediately, why don't we try to do something together? The first thing we imagine to do together is what we are doing in these days, that is this process of utopia, canceling the U, working on the place, like Open Design School is doing, having the issue of the topos of the place, and working around that. So after we will explain also what's going on, I say immediately here to Saturday night. Also be part of this process because we are doing things with the school. We are setting up this platform with Salvatore and other 2 young guys of Nefula that are working at a specific moment. I presume perhaps this evening we have a moment together also to meet Tommaso and Guglielmo. Anyway, they are at work on the mapping. We will do this kind of how we call performance. We will do in Saturday night after before, during, and after the big concert of Nicola Campogrande. So there are a lot of things happening. But at this point, I leave the floor to Salvatore and Oriana.
Yes.
Dispari.
Okay.
That's the way we
This
do it.
is So, personally, I am pretty much interested in understanding what you're about. So I feel too much overflowing you with all the things we do. Basically, when you see and when you look at our works, you will see many names, many different subjects, many different forms in which we do things. But also, for example, you can find ourselves as Artis Open Source, which is an informal network involving people like you, meaning from different backgrounds, from anthropology to engineering to architecture, design, arts, and so on, or science as well. And so, for example, Artis Open Source is the most fluid identity we have. There is nothing formal. It is really we explore the mutation of human when technology arise and network. So the mutation of human being and society, not the technology, but the interaction between humans, society, places, when a new thing such as and we pretty much like ubiquitous as an objective because it intersects a new change, something which you can't anymore in a dualistic approach define as virtual or real or digital, but is both at the same time ubiquitous. Okay, so it's something that is on our body, it's something that is in the public space, is something that we found in objects, everything around. Okay, so or you can find ourselves nebula. Nebula is something maybe is very interesting to here. Is a design laboratory, a studio which we have created with our students in ISIA Florence, which is maybe you know, but is a school of design, an Italian school of design, and we teach together since 4 years. Salvatore arrived there 2 years before. Then you can divide us, so they understood that we needed also class together, and so since 4 years we live there, we teach together, and as soon as we started teaching together for different reasons, we decided to change. We have a title. We teach for the MUR, so for the government and the ministry. We teach
platform digital design.
But real, okay, is a near future. So the fact is real. So we teach near future design. So the design. I won't open up now. If you're interested, we can share about it. And you can find yourself as a human ecosystem. A human ecosystem, for example, is something we have started to deal with data in many different forms, pretty much focused in the process of reappropriation of data in public space. So human ecosystem works with many different things, but the city itself is the place we consider the most for human ecosystem, but all these different things deal with one thing, and so it is the same performance. We have started maybe alone before we met, but then when we met, we started a new thing, a new identity, which do not arise what we were before, but is something new. And we started this observation. We work with technology so many times. Many people ask us what will be the future, and we pretty much like to say this is now in terms of a society which is mutating. We are very happy when we are able to create interesting question more than answer. So as we were saying with Francesco, thank you after the Utopia blog, we are as soon as we are able to and create things that are able to arise questions for others. I believe that we did a nice job.
You know John Cage? John Cage, I love John Cage. John Cage has this piece for 4 minutes 33 seconds. 4 minutes 33 seconds. John Cage arrives. There's the hall full of people waiting for the concert. Waiting for the concert. He sits, he bows now to the audience. He sits. He opens up the piano, and for exactly 4 minutes and 33 seconds does absolutely nothing.
Apart turning the page.
The pages, no? What does it mean? It means that there's a massive transformation. No? It means that there's a massive transformation. Because, John Cage, by doing this, radically transforms the role of the artist. No? Because the artist is not the author anymore. No? Because by doing this thing, it is the whole world, the whole planet that does the concert. No? Because the concert is made by someone sneezing, someone checking their phone, someone whispering, when does the music start? No? So it's all the sounds of the planet that make up the concert. No? And so John Cage gives up authorship, no? And becomes a platform. No? So John Cage, the artist, becomes a platform which can be used for other people to express. No? And this is an incredible thing. This is maybe the only way to try to avoid being authors of anything. So the only thing we do in multiple ways, whether it's La Cura, whether it's human ecosystem, whether it's artist open source, is try to transform ourselves into a platform, completely losing control. Methodologically. So our methodology is indiscipline and losing control. No? So that we can transform ourselves into platforms for other people's expression. No? And this is a fundamental thing. No? This is the basics of everything we do. And we could inspect, no, in here and there in the various project, no? Even here we do in for Utopia, in Matera, no? So let's start from here. No, because if I had to say what do we do in life, we become platforms. No, we transform ourselves into platforms. No. How do we do it? Because it's potentially very interesting. No. We do it mainly in two ways. First, by using transdisciplinary approaches. But that said like this may sound a little abstract, so let's save it for later. Then we do it through arts, and we have a very specific concept about what is art. And it derives from many things. No? For example, I love what Gregory Bateson used to say about artists. No? Gregory Bateson. When Gregory Bateson talked about art, he talked about it in terms of maybe the only thing which enables human beings to approach problems which require radically different ways of knowing. Okay, so art as the main enabler of different ways of knowing. Fantastic for me. Or Marshall McLuhan, no? He talked about art in terms of the bridge which connects us from our biological inheritance to technology. No? So it's a bridge between our biological inheritance, what we have inherited, no? Biological, and technology. No? And we could explore many things, many thinkers and doers, no, that talked about interesting ways of looking at artists. Summing them all up, the way we see it, art is a fraud. You agree that art is a fraud? When we do our, it's a beautiful fraud. When we do our course in ISIA, the first lesson, we say, we have a slide for it, we tell the guys and girls that we teach cognitive fraud. Why? If you look at things from a design perspective, fraud is the perfect design object. To create an effective fraud, you have to know everything. You have to know psychology, you have to know anthropology, you have to know culture, you have to know technology, you have to know materials, you have to know everything to perform a fraud. And then on top of that, the fraud has a wonderful side effect, which is shared with everything that's fake. Fake creates reality. No? When you create something fake, you are actually creating reality. Fraud creates reality. Okay? Reality is a fraud. It's fantastic. And this, we can come again to the role of the artist. What does the artist do? The artist does frauds. The artist does cognitive frauds. The artist creates these fake worlds, these simulacra, no? In which a different reality exists. This maybe is a bit more clear for things that we do, no? But you can also look at performing art, theater, no, dance, no. It's about creating, suspending reality, no? Suspending the consensual reality, creating another one for a little bit, in which a different perception of what is possible and impossible exists. And this is a very interesting thing to do, no? Because also art does it in very powerful ways, no? Art does it in very powerful ways because art can access aesthetics, desire, no? Love, hate, fear, no? It's not only about work and production, and no, so it is also able to grab you in various parts of your body, you know, and mind, you know, to create this thing. And so what we do is create these alternative realities in which a different perception of what is possible exists. One more thing, when we do this process, of course we don't forget the being platform part, no? So in this alternative reality, this alternative reality is created in ways, methodologically created in ways, such as it is possible and desirable, it is perceived as possible and desirable, that people take active part in this. People take active part, people criticize it, people praise it, people live with it, people start living inside it, people start doing things in it.
Like in a city.
Like in a city. All our works look a lot like cities. Because what is a city? There is Kevin Lynch. Kevin Lynch, you probably know about him. When he talks about in the image of the city, when Kevin Lynch talks about the city, he talks about it in terms of a massive orchestra, a dissonant orchestra, no? A massive time-based media, you know, a time-based media in which in ways that are dissonant, harmonic, no? Harmonic is affordance, dissonance is conflict, no? In all of these ways, people play their instrument. Okay, and so we believe that, no? And to enable our works to be cities, the only thing we need to do is lose control, and create an environment which is suitable, no, and inviting, and which is which cares about the fact that people can be dissonant, no, can be dissonant, and that dissonance has a value. Oh, in chorus, synchronic. We don't believe that. No. For example, what is happening here in Matera?
One moment.
Yes.
So now we are, since we are being filmed. What we are doing in Matera is a public secret.
Absolutely.
Meaning that.
Oriana is very concerned about that.
See, I'm very concerned because it's an agreement in the little city of
Absolutely.
Utopia we are creating. So it's a public secret, meaning that from now, no, since Monday to until Friday, we have a space which appear and disappear, which is this igloo devente, un igloo devente di Jordi Enrique, which is an artist from Barcelona. So anytime the igloo is open, so now we don't have the igloo around us, but it's the same thing, it's an imaginary place. Everything is involved and can know everything about the project, but we will go public with the details on Friday. So please, you need to stop filming.
Okay.
When we